Hi, my name's Dylan from Lumbee River Flutes. You can find me on eBay or on my website, lumbeeriverflutes.com. Now, I'm gonna be showing you my way of making this beautiful little sawgrass 5-hole Native American flute. Like I said, this is gonna be my way of showing it. Not to say it's the best way at all, but there's definitely better ways of making Native American flutes, but I'm just gonna show you my way of doing it per request of a few people who've wanted me to show them how to make it. Now I will be hosting a culture class pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, in the Pembroke area if you are around Robeson County. So I hope to see you there if you are around the Robeson County area. But nevertheless, I'm gonna show you that it doesn't take very much, but you can get a raw piece of material like sawgrass, this is sawgrass, river cane, or bamboo, and turn it into something beautiful like this. I've only been doing this for 2 years, and I've made probably 5 dozen flutes by now, and everyone who I made flutes for really enjoyed the flutes that I made for them. So I'm gonna give you a little demo on how this flute sounds, and we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna show you step by step what I do and how I turn a piece of sawgrass into a miniature flute like this. And I believe this is about 11 inches. For the exact measurements, you might want to go to Blue Bear Flutes' channel. I'll link him in the description. He's a much more informal source of information on making Native American flutes, but nevertheless, I'm going to show you a little demo of how this sounds. Pardon me if you can hear the garbage truck in the background. It's garbage day for everybody. Yeah, let's get to making it. So when you start out with a sawgrass, you could be working with any material really. Literally anything. You can make these flutes out of pretty much anything that you can hollow. But when working with sawgrass, I recommend you wear gloves so you don't get pricked by this grass that I'm pulling off right here. Because it really is sharp sometimes. It really will prick you and get in your fingers, and it's nasty. So what I usually do is I like to take where the notches are. I don't know if you can see that, but like right here, this right here indentation is where we're gonna make the sound area of our flute. I think I'm gonna use this end right here. And then the flute body will be here and the mouthpiece will be here. And I think that's what we're gonna do. Now the reason why I make the sound area here for the sound to be made right here is because this isn't hollow right here, so I'm gonna use that to my advantage, the natural growth of the material to my advantage to make a good sounding flute. Now I'm gonna show you how I go ahead and clean up all this excess material, excess growth off the sawgrass. I just get a piece of steel wool. Now you can use any kind of steel wool. I like to use this kind of steel wool because it's what I had laying around. But yeah, you just put a nice firm grip on it and just clean the material. Make sure you get it nice and clean. Now when you're making flutes with this, you kind of want to clean them. You definitely want to clean the material inside and out to make sure it's sanitary for you or someone else to put their mouth on if they want to play it and make sounds with it. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the flute I just played and use it as a pattern flute. Now for all the schematics and the measurements on how to make this, you can find at Blue Bear Flutes' channel on YouTube as well. And he'll give you everything you need to know on how to make these. But I just wanna show you my way of doing it. So now that I know what part of the material I want to use and how long I want my flute to be, I'm gonna get my marker. Sadly, I don't have a Sharpie today because finals were yesterday, and right now all I have in the shop is a highlighter. But that's fine, we can make do. So I'm gonna mark the areas with the highlighter. I'm gonna put this flute aside, and I'm gonna get the marking all the way around the material. Now you don't really have to mark all the way around the material. I just like to do it for a better cut. I find it helps me cut more evenly. Because when I cut the material, I like to go around in circles. I move the material in circles and go around in circles so it doesn't splinter off any nasty pieces up the material where you want to make the flute. So there's no scar tissue on the flute when you're finished. All right, now you can use any saw. You don't have to use this saw. This is just my granddad's old saw. It might even be my uncle-in-law's saw. I'm not sure at this point. And like I said, you want to go around in circles. So move the material around in circles and you're scarring it. Once you get it scarred nice and good, all the way around, you want to go ahead and saw right on through it. That looks like a nice, even cut. There we go. I did that without splitting the material at all. Now what I was talking about is when you're sawing, you don't want to just saw right on through. Sorry about that. That was the saw hitting the floor. But you don't want to just saw right on through because then little splinters of the material come and peel off down the flute body or the flute blank. But as you can see, we got a nice little flute blank to work with. And what I usually like to do now, after I got it to the right size, is I take this burning tool that I made out of a flat drill bit. This is what I'm gonna use to get this sound area flat as possible, to make the best sound possible, is I take the hole on the center of this drill bit and line it up with the line right here on this material. And after I get it lined up, I take my marker and mark each end of the drill bit. And that'll be the area that I score with my saw before I go ahead and carve out my sound area, my track area. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and score each side of the partition where I'm gonna make the start and the end of my track area with my saw. I'm just gonna lightly scar it. I'm not gonna go into the material at all, just enough to scar it. So it'll stop my blade if I go too far, and it won't leave any nasty scars going up or down the material. After I do that, you just start where you started with the saw and end where you ended with the saw. Start at your first mark and go down to your last mark with your knife in between each scar marks, and you just try to get it as flat as possible. Now, of course, you don't have to use burning tools like I do. You can do all this with a pocket knife or even a file. You make just about any kind of flute with just a pocket knife, actually. And now that I got it scored to the mark, to the point that I need it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and fire up my blowtorch. And I do not have a lighter in the shop, I think. 1 second, I will be right back. I am back with a lighter. Got to run inside the house real quick. All right, now that I got everything in place, I got the material looking the way I want it. You can see, I kind of got it as flat as I want it, but I'm gonna burn it even flatter. Now I'm gonna go ahead and light up my blowtorch, and I really advise against doing anything unsafe, like putting your hand near a blowtorch that's on, unless you absolutely know what you're doing. And please, if you do try to do any of this, please be safe as possible. Do not do anything that you think will harm your body in any way, or someone else in any way. Right now I'm just getting this drill bit as hot as I need it to burn this area flat on this flute blank. Now I actually have tried to make this video several times, and each time I ran into a problem. The first time I had it made, and the video got corrupted, sadly, in the editing process. So that's why I'm doing this whole video uncut and unedited. The second two times, either my phone ran out of storage, or my computer ran out of battery. Because I tried using my computer after my phone fell out, and my computer ended up falling out as well. So now I got a fully charged phone full of plenty of space for this video. I'm ready to get it done and show you guys how easy it is for you to turn a piece of raw material into something beautiful, like a musical instrument. Alright, I got it as hot as I needed, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just press it into the material. And do not inhale the smoke. Alright, I'm going to go over it one more time. I might see some sparks flying off this, but that's fine. I don't have anything that'll catch on fire underneath the torch. Alright, I got it as flat as I want it. So I'm going to set my drill bit somewhere that'll cool down, where it's safe and won't hurt anything while it's cooling down. And I'm going to show you how flat this is, how flat I got it with that burning tool. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this burning tool that I made, another burning tool, which was a drill file that I had ended up filing down right here with another file and got it red hot and bent it with pliers into the L shape that I'm gonna use to make this flute make a beautiful sound. And then I'm gonna use the other side to burn out the finger holes. So before I do that, and the blowtorch is okay, it's fine to go on for a little while. I'm gonna clean out the inside of this flute with this here file I have, because there's some nasty stuff on the inside of this flute. Let me go ahead and clean it out for the first time. You see all that stuff falling out of it. All right, let's get the other side. Let's cool it down a little bit. And I do recommend you clean it out before you go ahead and make it play, because it'll save you the trouble of having debris going into the sound area, which you'll have to clean out or blow out. All right, now I got this clean as the one, I'm gonna go ahead and burn the track area. Now I gotta get my other drill bit, my other burning tool, as hot as possible. Hot enough to go ahead and push through this material, because I usually don't drill holes unless I'm making a wooden flute. Because with this reed material, I don't suggest you do this, but you can get it hot enough to just push it right on through. And it'll look good, and it'll cauterize it, and it usually sounds pretty good when I do it, at least. Now, if you're a kid, I do not suggest you going into your dad's workshop and taking his blowtorch and trying to make a flute. I highly suggest against it, because for one, you'll get hurt, and for two, you need a parent supervision to do anything like this. So if you are inclined to make a flute, I suggest you just get a file. You can get any tiny little file. You can draw a hole and then make the sound area with a file. You can even file the area flat. You even get sticks and make them into tools. Use sticks to clean out the inside of the flute. You can just get creative with it. But please, if you decide to do any of this, or anything like this, I should say, be as careful as possible. Do not hurt yourself or someone else trying to do something. That should be a fun and beautiful process. Now, because that heat dissipates so fast, I waited too long to push it into that material, so I got to reheat it. I want it really hot. Usually I have a breathing pattern when I'm in the shop, so it's kind of knocking me off talking this much. So I have to get to catch my breath before I go ahead and do this. Now the heat dissipated so fast, I'm going to have to burn through it again. I like that pop it makes when you push through a material like this for the first time. But you can see that hole right there that I made. That's where the sound's gonna split. I'm gonna make another hole right here on the other side of this partition, and I'm gonna make a channel with the same burning tool. Each side of the partition, I'm gonna channel each hole together. That's what's gonna make it play. What I just did is I made this a nice edge right here. I pushed it in there and turned it slightly and made it as sharp as possible right here where the sound will split. It looks like it's not sharp enough actually, so I'm gonna go through it again. Usually I have my burning tool sitting on the platform, so I like to hold it in place, but I wanted to show you everyone what I'm doing. So. There we go. This thing is plenty hot now, so it goes right on through that material. This is the most crucial part, channeling the air. This track area has to be as flat as possible and as clean as possible. Go over it one more time. My burning tool starting to finally show some wear. The several flutes I made. Several dozens. Alright, let's see if it plays a tune yet. I doubt it will, but if it doesn't, at least I can show y'all how to make a little block for the flute. So for the block, what I like to do is, I like to measure it out, get another piece of sawgrass and measure out from the beginning of this second hole from the mouth area back. So you wanted to end at that place where you burnt, or where I burnt, to stop the block. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my saw and I'm using my finger to measure where that is. I'm not using any measurements. I'm just using the feeling of my finger. And I'm gonna just go ahead and score all the way through this extra piece of sawgrass, all the way through it. And then I'm gonna take a knife and some kind of tool to hammer. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put my blade right there in between the beginning and the end of the wall of that. So it's a nice size block, and I'm gonna bang my knife through it. I don't know if I can get it on camera, but I can try to. Try to get it on camera. Now this is an important part of the flute as well. Block area. Some people put their channel under their block. I find it easier to put my channel inside the flute. So as you can see, it's kind of a thick block and it's not completely flat. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna sand it down as flat as I can get it on some sandpaper. It really wasn't flat at all. Kind of cut in a little bit too much. There we go. We got as flat as it's gonna get. Alright, where's my flute blank? There it is. It doesn't make a sound just yet. Let me try sanding this block a little bit more. Alright, that should be about the size of the area. A bit better. But it's kind of wanting to make a sound, but it's not the sound I need. And I have an idea of how to make it sound better. The one block area isn't fitting the track area just right. So I'm going to sand it down to fit it just a little bit better. There we go. Let's try it out. Kind of want to make a sound. Not really though. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna work on this nice edge with my file. As you can see, I'm gonna work on this area right here and sand and file it down a little bit more. See how it sounds after that. Now again, the block might be the reason for that, but even so, I kind of want to get it filed down to the way that I want it to look, because I can tell from other flutes that I made that this one isn't sharp enough in that sound area. It's looking a little bit better. Not to the point where I want it yet. Now let's try it out a little bit. That's the sound that I want. Now from there, I'll work with it. I will work with it from there. Now what I think we should do now, honestly, is go ahead and try to finish it off. And I'm gonna tune it good after we get it nice and finished. I'm trying to look at this track area and see if it could be a little bit better than what it is. Because to me, honestly, it looks like it could be a little bit better. But I don't know, maybe it's the way it needs to be. Every material is different, you know? Each material needs a different thing to sound beautiful. So we'll go ahead with it and go ahead and make the rest of the flute. And from there, if it has any problems, we're gonna tune it and get it to the point that we need to get it. Now, for the rest of the flute, I like to get it on my flute pattern, lined up where this hole right here is, where the center of this hole is connected to the center of that hole. And then I'll mark my finger holes down the rest of the flute with my marker, because I know that's the right pattern for the flute. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and burn these holes through the material. Before I do that, I kind of want to sand off the edges. Now the only part of this I sand is the end pieces. It's the only pieces that I really usually sand on these mini flutes. It's about the way I want it on that side. Yep, that looks good. All right, now this thing's almost done. This is beautiful. This little flute's almost done. All we gotta do now is put on the fingering holes, tie the block on, and oil it up. And then I'm gonna make this track area look a little bit better by burning a slant right here with another burning tool I have. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the blowtorch again. We're gonna get the finishing off this flute. Good thing about cold weather is the other side of this burning tool I just used is already cool. Always watch your fingers. Don't want to burn yourself. really hot. It only took me getting burnt about 1 or 2 times to figure that out. Yeah. Woo! Did you see that? It moved down my shirt and I almost slipped my hand from going into that hole. Or my apron, I should say. Luckily, I caught myself before I did anything else. Alright, we are done with fire for today. Beautiful work. Take my steel wool, and you can see the areas where the burning kind of made the material hurt a little bit, so we're going to clean it up nice and smoothly right here, and now it looks like nothing ever happened. Alright, we're going to test this out, see if it plays the notes I want it to play, even with the block being a little bit too long. Use a little bit of work, and I think that's to do with the block maybe, which I'm about to find out. Now when you get it burned, and when you scar this material, or any kind of material like bamboo or river cane or sawgrass, you want to go ahead and oil it as fast as possible with either beeswax or some kind of oil. I prefer to put a mixture of linseed oil and beeswax on my flutes, so it preserves them pretty well. It gives them a nice shine, and it's helped me out so far, so that's what I still use. Alright, see how this fits now. Now it's fitting just how I want it to. We're gonna see how the bottom notes play. We're gonna tie that block onto it. But right now what I wanna do is, I wanna go ahead and burn that slant area, and I wanna oil the flute. And for that, I need to go run and get my oil, which is inside. I will be right back. I'm back with my linseed oil mixture in a rag to oil the flute with. So I know I said we were done with fire for today, but I'm fire to blowtorch up just one more time for one final cosmetic touch. For this, I'm use a burning tool I bought from Blue Bear Flutes. His website. You can buy burning tools, which are a 1/4 inch, and that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna put a slant using the flat side of this right here, going down into the track area to make it look nice, or somewhat nice. I think it makes it look better, honestly. Here we go. Done with fire for real this time. All right. Go ahead and clean that up a little bit with some steel wool, and I think that looks pretty decent. So I'm gonna go ahead and oil the flute. We're gonna tie a block on it, with the block we made with some leather cordage I got. When you oil your flute, you don't have to do it like this. I prefer to do it like this though. This is a nice rag. It's not too dirty. I only use it for oiling these flutes. The only dirt on it comes off of the clean flutes that I oil. And you kind of want to really get these ends in that area, the areas you burn, because that's what's going to preserve it from cracking and splitting over time. That's a oil flute. I'm gonna put it up here to dry for a little while I oil the block and tell you a little bit about flute care. So when a lot of people ask me when they buy one, they're like, so how do I maintain it? Now you can just use beeswax. I feel like beeswax, or you could buy Blue Bear Flute's artificial bear fat. Now that works wonders as well. It's I'm sure it's mixed with some form of beeswax as well, but that's all you really need is beeswax, some form of beeswax. I'm gonna go ahead and help this dry a little bit more by running over it again with the dry side of the towel. And we're gonna tie this block on and see how it sounds. All right. Now for me, when I tie on my blocks, I kind of do it a certain way. I'll show you. You don't have to do it this way. There's several ways to tie a block onto a flute. What I do is I get the middle partage of the flute, of the tie, I put it on the center of the block. After I do that, I go around one time on each side with the cordage. On each side of the middle part of the block. This is how I do it. It's not the best way to do it, I don't think. It's just what works for me. And then we're gonna go ahead and tie it. There we go. Now we got ourselves a flute. So some of these notes, I've noticed, I don't know, I think it's for now, it's a finished flute. I'm gonna go back and work over it before I decide to do anything with it. It's definitely not presentable or sellable just yet. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go over this track area again with some more fire. I don't think it's as flat as it should be. Where the channel from both holes over the partition. And once I do that, I'm pretty sure it'll be a much better playing flute. I could probably even do this on video real quick. Go ahead and fix this flute up. Even though I oiled it already, it should be fine. And guess what? We're using fire again, even though I said we wouldn't be. My favorite tool to use, fire. We use it in our everyday daily life. Whether it be cooking, drive the car, yes, car. Use some form of fire in the engine, I believe. The engine gets hot from a form of heat. I don't know if that has anything to do with fire, but what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go over this track area one more time with the fire and get it even flatter, the channel area. Alright, let's see if it even makes this tune anymore. It might not even play anymore. It's getting there to the way I need it to be. It, get some sound, see how it goes down. I think it sounds even better than it did. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it does. Now, I could go forever trying to fine tune this flute, but for it to be sellable, I want it to hit all notes up and down, and I also want to hit these 2 notes covered only, and these 3 notes covered only. Now let's try it. Okay. A lot of fine tuning comes into making a flute sellable, for me at least. think that one's on its way. All right. I think it's about time to finish this flute off. Beautiful, beautiful little flute we made today. I'd even say it's a happy little flute we made today. Go ahead and tie this back on and see how it sounds. Put it through the ringer a little bit and see how it really plays. I'm surprised my phone has enough storage for this video. We're saying 50 some minutes right now. 52 minutes. Completely unedited, and I don't think I will edit it any. All right, let's try it out now. All right, I think it's sellable. I think it plays. All right, guys. Thank you for watching me make a flute for about 50 some minutes. I hope you learned something. And if you enjoyed, I hope you can leave a like on the video and comment and tell me what you think and what I could do to improve, or any ways I messed up in the day, or how I could improve for the future. Other than that, I don't know what to say. But thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, and God bless.